is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. Welcome to the One More for the Good Guys podcast, where good guys gather to shed light on the good life, the people, and the good things that make it that way. I'm Mike McGill with my co-host, Jamie Akins. Now, raise your glass, lend us your ear, and let's have one more for the good guys. You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. On today's guest episode, we have our friend and soon-to-be yours, Miss Jessica Watson. Lenoir City native, multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, musical director, and talent booker, Jessica shares stories about growing up and the accomplishments of a young lady in the music business. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jessica Watson. All right. How have you been?
Good.
I haven't seen you in forever.
No, too long.
Probably what? Christmas?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been, I know I haven't been out to any. No, I seen you. I came down to one of your Albright Grove shows.
Okay. Which one was that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just remember the sad.
It was still cold. It was really cold because I spent a lot of time outside because I was still a little freaked out with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really crowded.
Yeah.
You and Meade were playing.
Okay.
And y'all sang I'm Gonna Kill You. So that was
one of
pretty,
our favorites. That was sometimes there's a song you just really relate to.
Yeah,
That's one of those.
Well, especially when they have such a subtle framework of words and artistry to them that
exactly.
It leaves everything really
it's like, what is that song
open
really
to interpretation,
trying to say? It's a mystery.
Yeah.
No, we really love it when we do that one, and then people immediately ask, "Did you write that?"
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Man, we wish we had Wynn Stewart.
How many times do you get stuff like that? Because I get it all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. It's constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And people.
Which is a compliment. It's like, wow.
Oh, I take it completely as a compliment.
Totally, yeah.
Somebody will say, "Did you write that one about the so-and-so?" And I'm like, no. I just say, no, I wish I had.
Yeah.
But, I completely take it as a compliment because, I don't know about y'all, but like if I'm picking stuff out, I'm going to pick things that I feel like I can really do well, but I also kind of pick stuff. I guess when you pick stuff that you like, you're actually probably picking things that have real similar
influence your own writing or playing. Yeah.
As I was saying that, it started kind of dawning on me that that's probably why you pick what you do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've always liked story songs. I always like something that's got a definite beginning, middle, and a payoff or an ending, so I really like to pick those. But how long have you been playing music? Is that all you've done? Are you like me? I took every elective there was and had to pray and beg them to let me take one more half elective just to graduate. But I'd beat a guy up too, so.
Oh, wow.
But he was asking for it.
Sure, I'm sure he was.
He spit on me.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's on him.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I started taking guitar lessons when I was 10.
Okay, so guitar was the instrument.
Yeah, and I grew up in a small Baptist church and was singing.
Where at?
In Loudon.
Okay.
Loudon, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And know people don't think I'm from here because I don't sound like I'm from Loudon.
You don't sound like you're from Loudon.
But
I know quite a few people from Loudon.
My dad grew up
No,
there.
you're not.
He sounds like it. I just tell everyone my mom's a Yankee. That's why.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I was singing. My dad was actually he sang in a little gospel quartet
Okay.
in that church that I grew up in. And so yeah, I was just singing and needed to be able to accompany myself. It was a need. And so yeah, I wanted to be Reba McEntire, and I got a guitar to try and do that country thing a little bit.
There you go.
And I don't know, I played off and on. I was playing a lot of sports and stuff when I was a kid too. So
Yeah, which ones?
softball, volleyball,
Okay.
tennis. And I stayed busy. I stayed busy as a kid. I stay busy now. I think it's just
Yeah.
my personality. But
So you went to Loudon High School,
I went to Lenore City.
Lenore City.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you're one of those.
I'm one of those.
Ugh.
A busy bee.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, and then like high school, any choir I could be in.
Yeah.
I was in that. Did a little musical theater type stuff.
Okay.
And did some more of that at Rome State. But I mean, after high school, I was like, I can't think of anything that I want to do outside of music, and
Right.
wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it. But
Yeah. What
just
do you
was like,
do?
yeah.
And that's what I always was like. I knew that was what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what all there was you could do
Right.
with said, music.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, okay, you could be a teacher, or you could, but, and I also say, like, at that time, I don't feel like in our school system here, I don't feel like we had the guidance of traditional and non-traditional roles of work,
Mm-hmm.
or a profession. Like, okay, you want to be music, so you're either going to go do it on your own, or you're going to be a teacher, or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you would do. So, when I got to that point too, I was the same way. I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
music something or another. And then I started doing all kinds of other stuff, and I was miserable forever.
What other kind of stuff?
Oh my God, I've done everything. Kidding me? I've sold cars. I've worked in the service industry of
Mhm.
cars. I first had this job at,
I can see you being really good at selling cars.
I could sell
but
cars.
doesn't mean you would enjoy it.
No, I still hated it. I mean, it was okay, but I still, I don't know. I don't think it was that big of a lot of times I don't think it was that big of a challenge,
Yeah.
because it was just like, okay, I'll just go turn it on, and they're
Yeah.
going to buy something.
Yeah.
Period.
You're like, this doesn't matter. It's
What
a
have you
car.
sold today, McGill? I sold 16 in the last 3 days. I'm not going to sell nothing today because artists make lousy slaves. Okay.
Oh my God.
But no, I've just a number of different things. I decided I was going to go to college, and then I got really good at playing pool, and not so good at college, and so then I thought, well, I'll go work, and
Didn't want to be a pool shark. That wasn't.
no, I didn't.
Ah, dang.
No,
Didn't want to go pro.
no, I was probably no, hell, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. You kidding me? But anyway, I hijacked your story, but I didn't know either.
I don't think I was telling one.
Well, you were saying that you just knew that you wanted that music was it,
Yeah. I mean, as it is now, I'm like, even if I thought about doing something else, I'm severely underqualified for any other profession.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
yeah, even in school, like you said, I was studying music, but I was like, what in the world am I going to do? Like, I did teach private lessons full time for a long time. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's exactly how I started to feel about it. It was like, this is exhausting.
Gosh.
I mean, my goal in life, because I've had lots of different jobs too. I drove a school bus for a little while.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've worked in several service industry jobs.
Miss Watson,
oh, gosh. Luckily, I had like a bus aide, this girl who would sit in the seat behind me and keep them under control. So all I had to do was drive.
Yeah, that's something they started after we.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Kids are nuts now.
Our bus drivers, their aid was booze.
What was your bus number?
60.
60.
Yeah.
61.
What was your bus number?
10.
Okay. 60, 61, and 10. Yeah, our bus driver, looking back now, of course, back then I had no idea, but yeah, I bet they were drunk every day.
Oh, I don't blame them.
No.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Driving a bus full of kids is stressful.
I'm sure
that's why you drink.
Oh, my God.
How long did you do that?
It was a small bus. It wasn't one of the big ones.
Okay. All right.
And it was an after school program. I would pick kids up from West Knoxville and take them to this.
But still.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility.
So I wasn't allowed to have more than 15 kids on the bus.
Oh.
So how
long did I do it?
Yeah. How long and what was your age when you were doing that?
This was probably, I don't know, like 8 years ago or something.
Okay.
And it was a really, really horrible decision because I was doing that in the afternoons. My morning job was to get up and open Court South Gym at 5:30 a.m.
I remember
Alcoa Highway?
Yes. No, not Alcoa.
Merchants.
Yeah. And
I remember that. Now that you say that, I remember when you were doing that.
And some days I'm really bad at napping, but some days I could make myself come home from the gym and take a nap. But most days I couldn't turn my brain off. So
yeah,
I would go drive that school bus and my eyes are heavy.
Oh man. I
had to quit both of those right around the same time. I was like, neither of these jobs are for me.
Oh man.
Yep.
Well, that's got to be, was it, I don't know the right way to phrase it, but you either...
Stupid? Is that the word you're looking for?
That was not the word. Not the word I was going to...
That's how I remember it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, no, just it's a little daring or it's a little just, oh boy, you're really asking for it.
I don't know. I think I've just been kind of desperate.
Sure.
Over the years trying to find the right thing and just I'll try that. I'll try this too. And sometimes.
Well, and sometimes
they don't.
Life just calls for you have to do. Sometimes you got to do the shit you don't want to do.
That's right. A lot of times that's the way it is.
Yep.
There's a huge sacrifice to make by doing some of the things that we want to do because you have to live within your means and then you have to figure out every kind of way on how to, chew up $1 and spit out a dime. And
it's a good song title.
Yeah.
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 Write that down.
Yeah.
Oh, we recording it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. We don't need pencils. We don't need those stinking pencils.
They don't even sell pencils anymore.
That's true.
It's all iPads.
I've showed my age twice this week, too. So I'm not going to tell how I did the first time. But, yeah. So there you go. Yeah, there's some things you just have to do.
Yep.
I remember my dad got me a thing. I was in between work with something and he got me a job. I just assumed I was either going to do something with music or I was going to go to work where my dad worked because that's the only thing I ever knew about any work, you know.
Right.
And he worked at KUB in the water department.
Okay.
So, and then by the time I got old enough to actually be thinking about that, my dad was just like, "Oh, you don't want to work there. The place sucks." And I'm like, "But I haven't put much thought into this,
Right.
you know." But anyway, I got a job with somebody they had subcontracted. This older guy who I guess probably just traveled from town to town in his van, you know. But I had to go over there at the old Mark B. Whitaker plant over on Riverside Drive. That, you know, looks like that big castle that sits back off the.
Okay.
Looks like a building that ought to be on a UT campus.
Yeah, it totally looks like a UT campus.
Like Ayers
building.
Hall or something.
And I remember having to go into the activation tanks. And these were places where, like, my dad would take me to work. So I'd see all this stuff, you know, and there'd be bolts like 3 and 4 feet around, you know, holding all these big pumps and all this major machinery. And I worked over there for like a week, just pressure washing, like all the algae and shit off these 70,000 gallon tanks, you know, just thinking any minute, what if somebody hit the switch? And, you know,
Did your dad got you that job?
Yeah.
I know what you could do, Mike.
Oh, yeah. He came. Oh, my dad was good. I learned real quick not to let him know anything about stuff like that.
Housework, Mike's great.
Oh, I'm covered up.
Covered
I'm
up.
so busy. He came and woke me up one day. I was 14. Yeah. Woke me up and he said, get up. I got breakfast for you in here. I thought, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
My dad was a pretty good cook. Old school, short order style.
This is a setup, though. I feel it.
Oh, it was a total fucking setup, bastard. And so I get done eating. He's like, come down here to the basement with me for a few minutes. I got something to show you. I was like, okay.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
And we get down there, and there's a wheelbarrow, a pick, a mattock, and a shovel. He's like, see all that dirt? Yeah. It's like, that's what you're going to do this summer. You're going to get rid of all that dirt.
Whoa.
I was like, what?
Yay.
Yeah. I was like, well, how the damn house will fall in on top of it? He's like, oh, no. I wouldn't let that happen. Your mom would get real mad at me about that. I'm going to show you how to do that, too. And I was just like, oh, my God. So, yeah.
You couldn't wait to go back to
do what you don't want to do.
You couldn't wait to go back to school, I bet.
Oh, my God.
Right,
no.
yeah.
Stunk. But, so you taught a while.
I
and
did.
that was laborious, I imagine, from the
It takes a special type of person.
It really
to
does.
do that. And I'm not that person.
It took me a long time to realize that about myself too, that I just wasn't cut out for it. And I had to.
And it was okay, maybe?
Yeah. And that it was okay to not be
Yeah.
that, because I have several musician friends who were also teaching. And after a while, it was just like, I would talk to them and be like, don't you just get so frustrated when these kids come in and you just have the same lesson with them every week because they haven't practiced at all? Isn't that annoying? And a lot of them would just be like, no, I don't mind. They're kids. I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be doing this because you have the patience for it and I don't.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
The people who have that patience are the ones who should be doing that job. And
Well, I have zero patience at all. I mean,
my patience is my level.
but the way I got over that hump was like, well, if they're going to do the same lesson for 6 months, they'll just be here longer to pay me.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's, I'd tell the parents, hey, I need to practice more and whatever.
I started to dread it though.
Oh, I
It
did
seemed like
too.
that
That's why I
only
quit.
lasts so long.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, you're like, okay, I'm still making money even if we're having the same lesson we've had for the last month.
Yeah.
But it's 30 minutes or an hour out of my day that I would dread going. I'm like, that's my new goal after teaching. My goal was like, I just want a job I don't dread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I obviously, I had some great students who I was sad to say goodbye to, but it was like I can't just keep my favorites.
Yeah.
Kind of just had to quit cold turkey.
Way.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good experience, but got to a point where I just realized I wasn't cut out for it.
So sports, you were at Lenore City High School.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a troublemaker?
No, except that I was always late.
Oh, tardy.
Yeah, I was that person. I was late a lot. That's just recently. In the last few years, I've tried to really get better about that.
Right.
And it's been hard because I was perfecting being late for like 30 years of my life. And I never enjoyed it. I was never like, oh, whatever. It always stressed me out to be late. It's like I had no concept of how long anything was going to take.
Yeah.
But I listened to...
That's a tough one to learn, though. I mean, as you go, you kind of either you got it or it's instilled in you or you don't or it isn't, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had a few people call me out over the years, and then I listened to a Dolly Parton interview where they asked her what her one pet peeve, and she was like, when people are late, because it means you're not respecting other people's time. And I was like, Dolly, why are you doing that to me?
Not you.
And I know. It's like, okay, she's right.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean,
yeah.
Now I'm the one who, like at Powell, where you and I have worked together a few times, I'm the one calling people out now if they're late. But I'm sure I always make sure to tell them, it's fine. I was that person for a long time, and sometimes I still am. It's not easy to break that. Well, but that was my only troublemaker quality.
Well, I wouldn't have even thought of that. I was trying to be silly, but so you left school, you went to college.
I went to Roan State for 2 years.
Okay.
While I was trying to figure out what else I wanted to do, and mostly just did some electives there and a lot of music stuff. Lots of choirs. My old choir conductor there, Brenda Luigi, is still a really good friend of mine, and we were in a band together after I got out of school.
Oh,
there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I know. Yeah.
What kind of band?
She was my voice teacher, and then after I left there, it's like, you want to sing together? We were called the Madelines, because we both had a mild obsession with Madeline Kahn.
Oh.
And so we were. It's
Twoo.
Yeah. So that was that band. It was mostly originals of mine. I would play guitar and she would play percussion or whatever. She can play anything. So whatever the song called for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good compliment that your voice teacher wanted to be in a band with you.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
And she always used to say, "You're not a singer." Because, the reputation singers have.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, she'd be like, "You can sing, but you're not a singer." I think that's why she liked hanging out with me. But she's the best. Her and her partner, Krista, are still really good.
See, you picked up on that, and I was just totally focused on, I'm like, that's pretty cool. She likes Madeline Kahn.
You're going through the movies she was in.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Blue, Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm. So funny.
So after the 2-year deal, did you continue or?
Yeah, I went from there to MTSU.
Oh, okay.
Stayed in the state, but
yeah,
music
got out of town.
Yeah, that was the place that was like, MTSU has multiple avenues. Like if you want to do music, people come from all over for their recording industry.
Yeah, recording big time.
Which I was a recording industry minor but a music industry major, so that I still had all of the theory and history and
where exactly. I mean, I feel like I should know, or maybe I used to know, but where is MTSU?
Murfreesboro.
Exactly?
Murfreesboro.
Right. Rees.
Yeah, Murfreesboro.
Yeah, Murfreesboro.
Yeah, it was close enough to home that I could come home a lot of weekends, which I did. And
well, yeah, being out kind of that way too.
Yeah.
You were even a little, an hour closer than even like if you had been in Knoxville for sure. So
yeah.
Especially with the traffic the way it is now.
Oh my gosh.
South of that. So
yeah, it was not that bad back then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have just stayed in town.
Yeah.
But I mean, MTSU was kind of like that on the weekends. It was sort of a ghost town.
Really?
A lot of people were there from Nashville or from Knoxville or neighboring places, and they would just scatter on the weekends.
Yeah.
So it was really quiet.
Is there any place music is like taking you that you just, you looked around in a moment and you were just like, how in the heck did this happen? By like, maybe something you got to do, or maybe a bucket list kind of thing, or maybe somebody you got to perform with, or
I mean,
a destination you got to be at,
Yeah, I feel like that's happened a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten to sing on the Bijou stage, partially thanks to you, and Tennessee stage, and just 2 weeks ago when Yo-Yo Ma was in town, we were playing that square dance on the square, and he hopped up and played a couple tunes with us. I mean, I didn't get to actually talk to him because there wasn't really an opportunity for that, but he was playing with us, and I got to shake his hand, and I'm like, that's the one I never thought I'd be on a stage with.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of happens sometimes. And I've booked a lot of shows because I really like hosting musicians too.
Yeah.
I don't really have the space for it now personally, but I've done a lot of house concerts in the past and had some musicians.
As far as putting them on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hosting them. And I've had a lot of my favorite bands say yes that I didn't expect them to. And like just having a band that you love playing in your living room is so cool.
Yeah.
I miss that. Like I'll get back around to it at some point in my life. But I mean, from that experience, I've started booking at Albright Grove, that small brewery in town, and I kind of get that effect there too.
I had a real good time that night. We came down. I ran into Cosmo, who I really, really like, and I don't ever get to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Not even back, pre-pandemic when, you were out 3 or 4 days a week or gigging 3, 4, 5 days a week. But so I had a real good time talking to him, but I enjoyed their beer.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case for me at places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I want to drink beer, not chew beer. But theirs were drinkable.
Yeah.
And that was refreshing. But
Can I write that down and put it on their website?
Yeah.
It's drinkable.
Yeah. And see, and here's the thing. They won't really understand how big of a compliment that really is.
Oh, I think they know. I mean, just because, their bartenders will tell you that because people come in, they're like, oh, craft beers is going to be something crazy. Because we got a lot of those breweries in town. There's so many breweries. You can find whatever you're looking for if you know where to go.
Sure.
But they're down the middle. Like they've got great stuff and they make interesting beers, but they've also just got like a nice Mexican lager and something that's easy to drink.
Yeah.
It's
normal.
Great. Yeah, they got something for everyone. I love those guys.
They refer to those as session beers.
There you go. But no, I love that place. I love that.
You've been doing that a while.
I've been there
because you were running, you had started it and then
just barely started before COVID. And then Nick Barron, the owner, has just stuck with me. And as people have started to come out for more music, he's like, hey, this is fun. Do you want to do more? And he just like gives me the opportunity to bring more stuff in.
Says a lot about him being sharp enough to get somebody that knows the area, knows the musicians or whatever to be in charge of that. Because a lot of those places are just...
And let them.
Yeah. Hey, this is what you're good at. Do that. I'll make beer. You do this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these places have people that are playing there that I'm like...
Well, a lot of people are...
And then if you reach out...
Yeah.
It's hard to get anyone to reply to an email or anything. Not that I reply to every single email that I get, but I mean, I try and be pretty good.
So with weather permitting, at this time of the year, they had a really neat patio.
Oh yeah.
So the music moves out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're on the patio. Any night that we're able.
Right, and so you don't miss. An artist don't miss a show either.
Right.
You can move everything. You just transfer everything inside.
Yeah,
it's different inside for sure.
It's harder inside just because it's a small room.
Yeah.
And it can get kind of loud in there.
Yeah.
But they also have an upstairs space too. If you're like, this needs to be more of a listening room and people are coming out to it.
Yeah.
So there's options.
Now you book that. Do you put your artists, like if you're booking someone, do you know which one, where you want to put them? Like, do you book something for the listening room, or do you just book for the date and then
for the date? Yeah.
And then that's up to them, or
see what we're feeling, see what the weather's doing. And I mean, the patio is ideal. Just get more people, sounds better out there. It's great.
And do you take care of the sound? Does the bands bring their own sound?
I most Friday nights I'm there if I don't have my own gig somewhere.
Right.
I bring, Mead Armstrong, and I have acquired a lot of sound equipment over the years for our own stuff, and I've been getting more and more things as I've needed them.
Right.
But that's been interesting because I mean, for years I've only really known enough to run sound for us, for our duo, or for us and Shauna Red Shoes, and now I'm like,
which might be harder.
It is
than just doing it for somebody else.
Now that I've been,
because you only have to wear one hat.
Yeah,
when you're doing it for somebody else.
Now that I'm running sound for other groups, I'm like, this is its own thing. I'm really trying to dial it in and make it sound good.
Yeah,
and I get frustrated now when I'm trying to run sound and play. I'm like, I can't really hear what this sounds like out there.
Yeah,
it's frustrating. But that's one of the things that I made it a point when I was working all the payment stuff out for musicians with Nick. I was like, you need to make sure we're paying separately for sound. Like I get paid to run sound, and the band that's playing doesn't have to worry about it.
Right.
If I can't be there and they do have to bring their own sound, they get paid extra because it's another job.
Really.
And most places in town don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's really, really annoying.
I went to this one place one time that said, oh yeah, the PA's in the thing, and talk to so-and-so and they'll give you the key.
Yeah.
It's super easy to set up. Just one of you. And, and I'm like, and it was one of those, I couldn't just say no because I had to go make the donuts. I needed that gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I have to go do it, And I get up there and I was kind of like what you were talking about, when you first start doing it, it's a little overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know. It's not simple as in anybody can do it, because you do have to have good ears.
Yeah.
But really, it's just like a big obstacle. It's really hard to get past. And I kept going. I tried that thing forever, ever. And I was so frustrated. And finally,
you're like, why am I here? Wasn't I here to play music?
Yeah.
Isn't that why
you
they
don't have somebody that, if this is so easy,
right?
Don't you have somebody up here named Earl that could just do it? And finally, I just said, the hell with it. I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll just walk around the tables. I don't care.
There you go.
I've done it in a field at a festival forever.
Mm-hmm.
And
should have got a clue when he said this is easy.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
You knew right then that they didn't have a clue about sound or any of that.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
I can, as a sound man, you can make the band sound awful.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Really, it's.
So the guy was like, well, you can't do that. And I was like, I'm either going to do it or I'm walking out of here.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay me. Or I'm going to take a bunch of your shit with me. Because you've seen, I'm up here. I'm just.
But not your PA, because the PA sucks.
And nervous because I couldn't get everything going right. And I was like, it'll be fine. So I wound up doing it. Yeah, it sucked. In all honesty, but I made a good time with it. Had a few drinks and
there you go. And you're like,
walked up to people's table and made fun of them in a real creative way that they didn't want to kick my ass.
Of course. So, I envy that. I can't do that.
But
it's a real gift you have, Mike.
It really is. That's a whole other story. But tell you what, man, something that you're great at is diffusing a heckler, man.
Oh, well, I got a microphone.
Yeah,
he will lose.
Yeah, but you you turn it into you make it their idea to lose.
Yeah,
you really do. You just turn it into such a non-confrontational thing.
Yeah,
that they feel like they got the better of you, but they didn't.
Hello, music lovers. Campbell's Music Room Guitars was opened and founded by our longtime friend Kyle Campbell back in 2017. If you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, you're always needing something. From strings, picks, or maybe a repair to your trusty instrument. Campbell's Music Room Guitars has a full line of all the stringed instruments. New and pre-owned, accessories, pedals, amplifiers, and here's the best part. It's a local, family-owned business where you will get the very best of sales and service from the owner himself. Campbell's Music Room Guitars has something for everyone. Did we mention that he also gives private lessons? Kyle is one of Knoxville's most multi-talented players and teachers with many years of professional teaching experience. Located at 5103 Kingston Pike, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Give Kyle a call at 865-584-0041 or stop by and tell him McGill and Jamie sent you and you wanted to have one more for the good guys. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just comes from all those years. Just, you're up there and you're whatever.
Yeah.
You don't feel like anybody's listening. You've just played something as great as the recording you heard it off of, and there's crickets.
That's right.
And it's just like you just gotta go on.
Yeah.
And just the gift of gab and just stick and move and trying to make it. But so that same gig that that I had all that trouble with the sound. So like 2 weeks later, I get a call from Millie Cavender.
Mm-hmm.
And Millie and Griffin are playing at this same place like 2 weeks later.
How do you run this PA?
And I'm on my way up the country to another gig that I'm playing somewhere up in fucking Kentucky somewhere. And they call me and they're like, "McGill, what do we do?" And I'm like, "Good luck."
Oh, they were asking you
jump
for
in the lake
advice?
and drown yourself. That's what you do.
Whoa.
Or start killing people, you know. I mean, because I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it's like if someone's having a heart attack and they're like, "Is there a doctor in the house?" Like, just get up there and be like, "Is there a sound person in here? Someone, anyone?" Like, it's not like
no. So I finally they were actually able. Her and Griffin were able to get it to work and get it figured out, and they had good stuff. I just didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if somebody asked me, "Hey, could you build this?" And if I needed the money, what's my answer going to be?
I'll figure it out.
Of course I can.
Absolutely.
I built 30 of those. I'm going to lie like a damn rug because I'm broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But with that one, it was just, one of those nights. I could not make it work.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating. But,
I mean, I have my own sound system, but I'm not a sound engineer. I would never put that on a business card for myself or anything. So, I mean, I can eventually figure out some sound system that's thrown in front of me, but I can get a sound out of it. I can make, but I really just know how to like run the one that I have pretty well because I've had a lot of time with it to mess around.
Right.
But yeah, the couple of venues that we've played in the past where they're just like, "Oh yeah, we've got one here. You just have to set it up yourself." I'm like, "Oh, we better get there 2 hours early because I know it's not going to, I'm going to have to stare at it for a while." Yeah.
That's the other thing, the added pressure as you're coming down the stretch and you still ain't got nothing happening.
Yeah.
Or, you got, it just sounds awful and you can't fix it. And you're just like, does somebody make it work?
Like, does this thing have, where's the phantom power button?
Yeah.
We are kind of, lately though, we're kind of spoiled with it because the places that we play, we've had this talk before, but when I first started playing, which was 30 years ago in this town, there was no sound man, nothing.
Okay.
And if they had equipment, you ran it yourself.
Yeah.
There was only
most of the time you bucked all that gear yourself.
That's right. Well, we did bring all our gear ourselves too, except at Judy's they had a PA,
and that was the day where there weren't powered speakers.
Oh yeah, nothing.
So
like
there
that.
was racks of amps and those big fucking JBLs that were like Incredible Hulk needed to carry them in there. You know.
Yeah, they got heavier the drunker you got.
Oh God, yeah.
And but now we roll into Jig or we roll into Barbie's. There's somebody back there.
Yeah,
they're hooking me up.
That is nice.
Like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah,
with Greg, we're spoiled now.
I'm real spoiled with Greg because, when I started doing that Aubrey's gig, I was doing my own sound when I first started doing it. And then I was there a couple of years and everybody really liked it. And I was like, okay, I'm making pretty good money on this, but I need a raise. But
I need a sound man.
I need a sound man more. Because I'm still okay with what this is going on. And so I pitched it that way. It was like, how much better everything's going to be. You're not going to have to come from the kitchen. You're not going to have a bartender waiting to put things back on the piped in music. We'll handle the night.
Yeah.
It's going to give me the opportunity to get around and shaking howdy more with everybody that's came to make repeat customers, to buy more booze.
Yep. Everyone wins.
Yeah. So, and they went for it, which was great.
Suckers. There's that car salesman coming back out of you.
But, and I didn't have any idea. I mean, I didn't want to insult Greg. I mean, how do you, what do you ask? I hate that when people ask me for a gig, and all they want to know is price. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even know if you like me.
Yeah, but their brother-in-law can do it cheaper. That's
yeah. I know how easy it is to reach in and start counting out hundreds, but you don't even know if you like me or not. So it's not all about the money.
Yeah.
But I got really fortunate and man, he's worked for me. But with that particular gig, it's a Monday night. What else are you gonna do on Monday night?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Bitch about the 3-man booth on Monday Night Football. There ain't nothing to do.
I've never done that once in my life.
But so yeah, we are a little spoiled with that because I'm not. I mean, God forbid, if I can help it, I'm not dragging no more shit around. I am way past it. I just can't do it no more.
Yeah.
This show's not going to be as good.
Yeah.
It's
true.
Because I'm going to be caught up in all this. So I can be half-assed here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pay me to come out there and be half-assed? I don't think that's what you really want.
Yeah.
But
I always dreaded those gigs when you knew you had to tear down and 3:00 was rolling up instead of just turning your stuff off and leaving.
Oh, yeah.
You had to carry, you got home at 5:30.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think we need to start having like a sound man appreciation.
Yeah.
Some events or something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, clearly there's a need. Yeah. And some of those sound people are just the crankiest dudes I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, some of them,
yes, they are.
Be. Some of them can be.
Didn't you get into this because you enjoyed it? Why are you so upset?
Yeah. Some of them can really be bad.
I know.
Well, you put that in your cap.
Yeah.
The way, so you may be able to get, you may be able to use that at the Grove someday.
Yeah.
And get you somebody.
I mean, Red Shoes, we named our last album after
Steve,
a sound guy.
For Christ's sake.
And he's still a jerk to us. Just
really?
Kidding. He's the
I'll
best.
kick his ass.
No, we love Steve. He's the best.
Tell me anybody's mean to you all. We'll whip their ass.
Nah, he's got an attitude, but we like it.
Yeah. Oh, he's a little feisty.
Totally.
He's a Reds fan.
Golly.
Yeah.
No wonder he's pissed off.
He's like, it's my favorite Lebowski line. Am I wrong, dude? No, Walter, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole. So that's Steve. I'm not being nice to Steve.
We all love Steve.
I know. I am being nice to Steve.
He knows it.
So you go to Roan State, then you go to MTSU. What do you do after that?
Well, that's when I came back to town and started teaching.
To Knoxville proper?
Yep.
Yeah. What brought you back here? You just had acquaintances?
Yeah.
Plenty of folks you knew? The scene?
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't spent that much time in like near downtown.
Yeah.
But it was just starting to grow a little. And at that point, we could actually afford to rent a house that was very close to downtown.
Right.
Poor, graduates who didn't have jobs yet. We could still afford it. Me and a couple of friends. So yeah, we were right over on Sevier Avenue, right by Island Home. Before anything was there, Alliance was still a laundromat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That place is, all of that area is just,
oh my gosh, blown up.
Fucking unbelievable.
The house we used to live in was right next to what is now Landing House.
Yeah.
And they have just recently torn it completely down. And now I look at that space, I'm like, how is there even room for a house right there?
Was it on the other
There were
side
three of us living in
Landing
it.
House, or was it
On the corner. So
Okay, so like where our old office used to be.
on the other side of that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I loved that house.
Yeah.
And
It's a great area.
it is. And it was just really nice to kind of be in that part of Knoxville. And I've moved several times over the years, but I've loved being able
Stayed
to
in that area.
see how much it's growing. And
Right. Are you still in the same place you were in?
in Park Ridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Park Ridge is nice. I love the location. I like the house.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll be able to afford to buy one of my own, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm tempted to. My parents just built a big house out in Greenback. It's beautiful. Like if it wasn't 45 minutes from everything.
From everything. Golly.
yeah.
I would go out there and just save money.
Yeah.
But that would be a nightmare. I get some pretty terrible road rage sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us more about this, Jessica Watson.
It's that whole patience thing we were
Thought
talking
you
about
were
earlier.
just all
I just
sunshine and light
I
and
don't have it.
rainbows and unicorns.
I never
That's what
ever.
you tell me.
I never
meaner than
said
a
a-
dog shit and tax.
I never said a curse word until I started driving,
Oh.
and then it was like flying. Yeah.
Then you couldn't
There were
stop.
no other words to
Right.
express
It's really
how
not.
upset I would get. Ah.
Well, when
Yeah.
did so you were so you get back here, you were obviously influenced by you wanted to be Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
Where did the banjo and stuff come in? The folk and all of that.
I mean, I was already writing songs like way back in like my Rome State days. Those were mostly like back then, like my last couple of years of high school. I made some friends who were still close friends, but they were really into like Ani DeFranco and the Indigo Girls and like
Okay.
all those like
Right.
really great female singer-songwriters. And I started really getting into that stuff and writing, trying to write in that kind of style.
So it was an introduction
Yeah.
new stuff.
To newer stuff. And
or unfamiliar stuff.
sure. And I was so, I think that some of that stuff, Ani and the Indigo Girls, some of that stuff was, but even like Joni Mitchell, like that stuff, the guitar parts were so interesting. And
Yeah.
I had really just been strumming chords and singing. And then I was like, man, I'd really love to be able to like do something really great on the guitar, like really know my way around that instrument.
Right.
And when I went to MTSU, like I was a music major and I studied classical guitar. That was my
okay.
primary instrument. And
So
that
that's
just
kind of how you learned the fretboard.
yeah. And I had been picking up mandolin a little bit, and one of my classes at MTSU was an old time string band, just because I was like, "What's that?" And that's the first time I ever heard clawhammer banjo.
Okay.
So I had been trying to just like work up my guitar chops, and then I heard that style of banjo and was like, "That's awesome."
Right.
And because I didn't really grow up listening to old time or
Yeah.
anything like that, so
Did
I mean
you
some bluegrass, but that's
right? Well, it's totally different. banjo.
against like this will be news to a lot of people, but those are very different,
Very
genres
different.
for me.
Very different.
But yeah, the banjo has a lot to do with the difference between those two
yeah.
styles, and I never had any desire to play a bluegrass banjo.
Right.
It's a little too loud and twangy for me, but I appreciate it when it's done well, for sure.
See, that was my first instrument.
Really?
Was Scruggs style,
Nice.
3-fingered banjo.
Do you still play it at all?
No, I don't. Well, I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
And I did for a long time,
Mhm.
even after. But it's kind of funny. I did that Rhinestone Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday.
Yeah, I wasn't outside. I was inside at the jig. So there was. I kicked it off from like 12 to 2, and then there was several other acts coming in 2-hour slots behind me. And I look up, I'm doing my last song, and I look up, and I'm like, holy crap. And it's the guy that used to give me banjo lessons.
Oh, nice.
When I was a kid. So he had a little bluegrass group there that came on after me. And we got to get up. He asked me to get up and sing a couple of songs with him and stuff. So.
Oh,
But no, I still enjoy it. I would like to. I'd like to get one to kind of pick around a little bit here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My problem was I never could play the damn thing and sing at the same time.
Ah, yeah.
Now I probably didn't work nearly hard enough to make that happen because
I bet you could now.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
Of course I could.
I mean, I bet it would be easier than you think it would.
Maybe. I'm pretty. I mean, you can tell I'm still kind of like, I don't know.
No, I cannot tell.
I don't know. No, seriously, I don't know, but probably.
No, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, we did a bluegrass show here several years ago. I was playing with a couple of guys up from out at Pigeon Forge, and that was fun. Of course, everybody just came and was like, "It just sounds like all the other stuff you do." I'm like, "Well, piss off, jackasses! That sounds nothing like I do."
Can't people just keep their thoughts to themselves?
I wish they would. I really.
I sound like
why do you have to say everything out loud?
No kidding. Because everybody wants to be right, Jessica.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's a lonely damn world. And that's what they don't realize. They're going to have to be right all the time. They're going to be in a lonely, lonely place. So folk music, singer-songwriter stuff.
Yep. So once, I'd already been writing a lot, trying to have interesting instrumental stuff going on, something different. And then the banjo came along and, I don't know. I mean, it took me a little while to get comfortable with that clawhammer technique and feel like I really knew my way around that instrument. But once I got there, I was like, this is the best instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the guitar and I still think of that as my primary instrument. Like,
well, you're a very good guitar player.
If I have to figure out how to play something, like if I have to make a chart for something, I need a guitar in my hand.
Right.
But if I want to just noodle around on something, I'll probably pick up a banjo.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I learned to sing and all that stuff. I mean, I was a mimic. I wanted to mimic everything when I was real young. But then,
you were good at that too. You could.
Oh yeah, I can. I'm a pretty good mimic.
You do impressions?
Huh?
You do impressions?
I could, yeah.
That kind of mimic.
Yeah, I could. I could sit and study someone and do it.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Here's Big Al. You ready for Big Al?
I'm ready. Yeah. That was perfect.
All right. I heard that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm good at that. But no, but when I learned singing and reading music and all that stuff, it was all from the keyboard. Dr. Melton taught from the piano.
Right. Yeah.
So I've still to this day never learned the fretboard in half step, whole step.
Mm-hmm.
The way
it doesn't like
it applies.
It's so much harder to see it on the fretboard than on the keyboard.
That's exactly that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to teach both, guitar and piano.
Mm-hmm.
And visually, piano was easier in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
By a long shot.
Yeah.
A lot.
But once you start teaching bar chords and things like that, you can play the same position and play all these chords too. So
yeah.
Back to your story.
Oh no, that was pretty much.
I love a capo. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I do too.
Give me a capo. I went through a phase where I was like, capos are cheating.
Oh,
and I would try and play everything without one. And I was like, this sounds like garbage.
These assholes still say shit about that. Don't they all do? Was it G2?
I love a G2.
Yeah. Yeah. I like using it and playing in different shapes.
Sure.
Like, like when I learned, okay, so like a lot of that old Flatt and Scruggs stuff and Jimmy Martin stuff, they did it out of F, but they played it out of an E shape, capoed on the first fret.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when an old timer taught me that, then it sounded just like I had heard it.
Yeah.
I could play it. I could play that song out of F,
mm-hmm.
out of, by capoing and playing out of a D shape.
Yeah.
But it just didn't sound the same. And it didn't have that bounce and that right. The rhythm is really important to
mm-hmm.
me. So I like to fool around with playing out of those different shapes.
Oh yeah. That's the way to do it. Try it
because the
in
voicing
different places
really gets different on the instrument. And then if you're playing in a D shaped, like let's say on particular stuff like that, the bluegrass stuff, it's boom chicka. But if you're playing out of an E, you can be like doom chaka 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 doom chaka chaka chaka. You can, and it just gives it a whole new
mm-hmm.
Way that it can go.
Yeah.
Well, you got the root note in that low string.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's why they play in G a lot.
Yeah.
Because you got that.
Yeah, because you're on the thing. But I am no shape, form, fashion consider myself a musician. I'm good enough to do the stuff that I do. And I can figure a few things out. Well, thank you. But I'm not, I feel much more comfortable in saying I'm a singer versus
You're a singer that plays guitar.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
See, I keep him around. I never knew that.
Well, hey, I'm here all night, man.
Yeah. So have you? So you're doing Albright Grove? Are the Red Shoes gals doing? Are y'all doing anything? Or you got any gigs coming up?
You know what? That's on me, Mike, because
stuff?
I book for us, and I haven't booked us anything.
Well, you're extremely busy.
I am, but I mean, we go through sort of breaks. Like we like to have breaks, and
well, Shauna's got 2 children.
Yes,
that's busy.
So and Mead's baking
still baking,
a lot.
and
so yeah. So we're
is that all she's doing now?
Pretty much.
Not to speak for her, but
she has started teaching a little bit again.
Okay.
I think maybe just one day, and she's doing 2 markets a week now, I think.
Okay.
Which, I'm not going to pretend like I understand how much time goes into baking that amount of bread for those markets, but it sounds like
a lot.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Luckily I've still been able to steal her away for some gigs in the last few weekends. We've done several weddings and stuff, but yeah, everyone's busy. So, and we also, we've never been a band that likes to just play the same set over and over. We like to work up new stuff and try new venues. So the goal right now is to try and get some venues outside of town that we haven't played yet and do some like light travel.
Yeah.
A couple days here and there. And So I just got to do some research and find
Yeah.
some new spots. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
You heard of this place, Windy Hill Farm?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
They're aiming mostly toward like solo or duo songwriter type stuff.
Yeah.
Now I did play there
Like y'all would
month
go
ago.
good there. I've never been there. I'm going on July 7th.
Mm-hmm.
I think is the date. Is
It
that
is
right?
July 7th.
It's beautiful.
Jamie and I are going to do a duo thing out there.
And they sit you down and they, after you get sound checked and whatever. I mean, I think you do have to run your own stuff there, but
yeah, I think they have like a Bose.
But to make up for it, they feed you some really amazing food.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty nice.
Oh my! It's like the best meal I've had in a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
We got that going for us.
Yeah,
They're super nice. It's a great spot.
We're eaters,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Well, okay, so
yeah, places like that we're on the lookout for.
yeah,
I think they're booked pretty far out at this point.
yeah, I was really surprised. Cruz Contreras reached out to me about that, and I was really surprised because I hadn't talked to Cruz in quite some time, but he reached out about that, and it sounded fun, sounded good. I'd seen other folks that had done it and had pictures and stuff that and it looked cool. So see how it goes. Hey, good guys and good gals alike. If you're looking for somewhere to go to get your hair did, then look no further than the Chop Shop Hair Studio. Our longtime friend and supporter, Cindy Lou, opened this spot located in Knoxville's very own Happy Holler back in 2010. Chop Shop Hair Studio offers a variety of services, including facial waxing, accessories, tools, and a complete line of men's and women's products, along with essential oils. A lover and supporter of the musical arts here locally and abroad, Cindy has a small stage with stringed instruments and offers discounts to guests if they are willing to play and or sing a song. The Chop Shop Hair Studio is a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, and 100% pure style, just like our dear friend and owner, Cindy Lou. The hours are Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also visit thechopshophairstudio.com and or call 865-525-4240 to book your next visit to go and get your hair did. Located at 1206 North Central Street, Knoxville, Tennessee, Chop Shop Hair Studios. Stop by and tell them McGill and Jamie sent you to have one more for the good guys. Are you writing any? Or are you just trying to
I haven't
get through?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of things right now that are kind of I'm trying to find the right balance. And kind of making my own schedule to a degree. Like with all the booking stuff and this church gig that I have that I work from home like 3 days a week, and I'm like, okay, you think that if I were working from home, I would just have like the best, most relaxing schedule, but instead I just like it's really hard for me to figure out, like I need to make myself some work hours,
Yeah.
It's so
harder
hard
to work at home. I've done it for 20 years, and it's got to be more disciplined.
Yeah.
Because there's so many distractions.
Exactly.
Like I could go to the refrigerator again.
Yeah.
Or what's on,
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be that disciplined.
Yeah. I usually end up having to go to a coffee shop or something.
Yeah.
Just not be in my house.
Yeah.
So there's just too much other stuff there that I've been putting off forever.
Well, you're doing the bookings at Albright Grove, and you're doing an old time jam there too.
Old time jam.
Right.
I host there twice a month. Yep.
And that's on Sundays?
It's first and third Sundays.
First and third Sundays.
In the afternoon, 3 to 6.
And then last year, when we were looking at doing the Christmas spectacular,
Mm-hmm.
you had taken a new position with the church.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so you're there. You're the minister of music now? Or are you? What's your title there?
Music director.
Okay.
I'm not like a true worship leader there.
Right.
It's a part-time position. So I've played there for 10 years now.
Okay. So that was you had a steady church gig.
Yeah.
As do a lot of the other working musicians in town, for folks that don't know.
Yeah, I feel really lucky at this place. It's it's a great church. Everyone's super nice. I mean, obviously I've gone through multiple pastors and other worship leaders and just stuck around as part of the band for years and years. And they, since COVID, their budget, they just couldn't really afford the full-time position anymore. But the guy who was doing it couldn't afford to just work part-time. So he had to find something else. And they were like, you're kind of already leading this band. Do you want to just do that officially? So it's been a learning experience having to pick out songs for services, for 2 services a week, and make charts and book the musicians and everything. I've had Jamie coming in and playing keys a few times.
Yeah, he's mentioned that.
Seems like he's done it a few times before.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a natural.
Thousands of times.
No, it's great.
I just had a broke out in a cold sweat. Thinking about that.
But I'm enjoying it. I mean, the contemporary stuff, because this is a big Methodist church.
Yeah.
And the contemporary songs, like we've done a bunch of songs over the years that I was like, I mean, the song's crap. Like just horrible. Like, I mean, and we'll do them over and over. I'm like, can't we find better songs? Like, I don't care what even if the lyrics are speaking to you, if the song is terrible, I can't get into it. Yeah. So I've made lists of songs that I actually, that do something
songs
for me.
Jesus and Jess approve.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, my love, like my first songs that I ever sang were hymns.
Oh yeah, me too.
And,
for sure.
And that's where I learned to sing harmony.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing to do in the world.
I think me too. I love singing harmony. Like when we are able to get together and I'm able to sing harmony with you all, I'm just so happy.
So great.
I'm like, okay,
and it's
finally
so nice.
Somebody else is leading this shit.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it. I can just, I can be like a cheap suit here.
Yeah.
Just hang around.
The hymns are amazing, and I have such a special place in my heart for those. And so these services have been great for me because they also, because attendance went way down when people started coming back from COVID. We used to have 2 different services going on at the same time. There was like an old traditional service and then the contemporary service. But now we're all in one room. Yeah. There's a whole group of people in there who are like, where are the hymns? What's with the drums? This is too loud. So we try to find a balance there. Yeah. And I really enjoy doing that.
You may have said this earlier, but was, so you grew up in church. Mm-hmm. What denomination?
That was a small Southern Baptist church.
Okay.
Yep.
I think you said that.
I don't know if I did or not.
I thought you did. Small Baptist church. Anyway.
Who knows?
Well, we're just talking
Can we roll back?
Yeah.
Wait.
We were talking
Let's scrub this and see.
We were talking about hymns, and I automatically,
Yeah.
The ones I remember were the real old hymns that were just all about heaven.
Okay.
There wasn't any. I mean, I guess there was still praise and worship but most of them were in the old red church hymnal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't know if you were familiar with those from being in a small Baptist church.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's weird now because a lot of the contemporary arrangements of hymns take all of the chord changes out. So the harmonies I had sung growing up don't fit in there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, man, you just like the melodies vanilla? Are great too.
Are they a little more vanilla?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try and keep them.
You've done to interject with this, you've done a very good job picking songs.
Oh, thank you.
I just loathe that genre for the most part. And I was at a church before for years, and we're about as cutting edge as far as new stuff. We didn't play garbage either.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that because she'll sing me the songs 3 or 4 days out. I'm like, oh, okay. I like this. I can doodle on this and make it. It's musical.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the main thing. I find that a lot of these contemporary services, they'll throw up words up there with, we used to use one of those overhead projectors, but now they've got PowerPoint and all this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, that's like 3 paragraphs of words.
Yeah.
That's too many. That's too much.
Well, yeah. I mean, how are you going to remember them?
Well, you don't. And there's no...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
As you all were talking, I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking about like page 130, page 112.
Oh, wow.
Page 52.
Yeah.
And I can remember every chorus, but maybe on into the, the deals. But
the hymnal, man. I had it memorized.
Oh,
really
my gosh.
crazy.
I had the page number,
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, we're going to do the first and third and fourth verses. I'm like, yes. I don't like the second verse. Well, I guess my favorite one. Yeah, man. I'm with you.
When I was a music director for a little while at a little church.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, sang all of them.
What kind of church was that?
Splitting verses up. We're singing all of them. It was a Baptist church.
Okay.
Tazewell Pike Baptist.
Oh.
And what was crazy was I just went there to just kind of get back in church and just start, recentering myself and, because I'm a believer and I have no problem with the way I was brought up and I'm proud of it in a lot of ways,
Mm-hmm.
I don't carry that guilt shit around no more with me. But I was just wanting to be in church. And then somebody found out, my brother was David McGill, and it was all over. And it was like, oh my God, again.
Kingdom Heirs, baby.
Again, I can't go nowhere. So they needed their piano player had quit.
Ah.
And they had been hiring this girl in. Well, the guy who was leading the singing had no idea how to read music or any of that. And, he was out one time. The pastor asked me.
The rest is history.
That was it. So then that girl stopped playing, and I didn't have any accompaniment. And I was just like, what the heck am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to blow a pitch pipe. What the hell am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do, And but there was this guy that was there who was a big bluegrass guy.
Oh, okay.
And he, this was long before I really knew, I'll put it to you this way. He introduced me to Tony Rice.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing about that kind of bluegrass. And then when I heard him play guitar, I was just like, holy shit.
Put that thing down. I will never do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And he was a good singer, not a great singer, but a good singer. But I just, one day, I was just like oh, go ahead. So I just one day just said, hey, I just said, hey, Johnny, you want to come up and play? Well, I don't know about the keys or anything. And I'm like, I'll tell you what keys they're written in. If you want to do them in the standard keys, which you probably should, considering everybody's got to sing.
Yeah, they're written for congregations.
Right.
Keys are.
So, and I showed him how to tell what keys stuff were in with the flats and the sharps and the whole deal. And he just kind of took to it. And the next thing I know, man, it was just, we started doing all those old hymns, which lended itself to that rhythmic, that type of beat. And next thing you know, man, 3 months go by and that place is packed. And then we got this lady named Glenda. I'll remember her last name in a minute. I can't remember it right off the bat. But dude, she was a boogie woogie piano girl.
Oh, nice.
And it was, only thing was, somebody jumped out a window, had a tambourine, we could have been Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? We could have been a Pentecostal church. But I wouldn't take nothing for those experiences.
Yeah.
Those were such fun times, and turned me on to a whole new genre of music and stuff like that. So
this must have been a while back if you didn't know who Tony Rice was.
Oh no, I was young. Hannah was just born, so I'd have been like 25, 26 years old, something like that. Just a baby.
A baby.
I could have I could have been a Bible salesman. I was clean, man. I was clean.
You never did that?
No, I didn't. I could have wiped them up.
That wasn't on your list?
I might have been able to. Man, that's where I missed it.
Just stick a Bible in everyone's car if you sell it to them.
You're going to need this. I don't want it. You're going to need it. Okay.
Oh, man.
So this is a new position for you, and is it this is a new revenue stream for you?
Yeah,
it's helping you, and that's great.
Yeah, they've been really great.
Happy for you when you told me last year.
Yeah, this is the first time in my life that most of my income is music related. Some way. And I still work at the restaurant at Tupelo Honey.
Oh, you do? Okay.
1, maybe 2 days a week. And there are some weeks I don't work there at all.
Yeah.
Got other stuff going on.
They're opening another one, I heard.
Do it?
They're opening another Tupelo.
Yeah, out in West Knoxville, Farragut somewhere. I've worked a lot of restaurants over the years. And when I got the Tupelo job, I was like, okay, I'm just going to be here for like a summer. Like I just needed something part-time. And it's the first restaurant that I worked that I was like, these people don't suck.
Right.
Like I really liked my coworkers. I liked working in Market Square. I was just hosting for a couple of years and then I started serving and now the money's really good. And they've been really good to their employees over COVID.
That's awesome.
And
good to hear.
Yeah. They're really, it's a good company to work for. And there's some benefits that I get through them that I'm like, why would I ever quit this job? I'll just have it for when I have time to work. And they don't mind that. There's, a lot of restaurants have really high turnover, just people coming and going. And
especially now.
Yeah, this space though, like we've got, obviously there are people who work there when they're in school and then they, go somewhere else. But for the most part, people stick around.
Yeah,
it's a nice spot. So that's the only thing I'm doing right now that's not in the music field. But I just keep that job because I enjoy it.
Yeah,
and it's really just extra. Like I could quit if I really wanted to.
Well, it's good.
It's a different, I like
Imagine
the pace. It's a totally different thing.
A good break for you. You know, because you need brain breaks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told multiple people this the last few days. I feel like it keeps coming up. Just like if I'm driving in my car, I rarely listen to music. I don't have it playing at home.
Yeah.
Like, I love music, obviously, but I don't really listen to it for fun.
I don't
anymore.
That was something I was going to ask you. And
I go to live shows.
Yeah.
I like hearing it live, but it's rare for me to like just sit down and have music playing in the background or anything.
And growing up, was your house a musical household? Did you have music playing? Or was that more? I did not, and I'll just tell you mine real quick.
Yeah.
Like we never had a radio on in the house or a record playing or anything. That was always in the car.
Yeah.
Like, so if we were going somewhere, the radio came on.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, you know, mom or dad saying, "Hey, put on that so-and-so record," or let's turn on, you know, the Blue Band Coffee Jams on the night at 6:00. We had none of that.
Yeah.
Grew up, none of that like that. So it always amazed me at like, how did so many of my family members become so musical? So what about you? What say you, young Watson?
They're kind of the same. I mean, there was music playing sometimes in the house, but not all the time. Like it wasn't a constant thing. But in the car, it was either the Gaithers or Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or Reba.
Yeah. But I mean, when I was younger, I would, like the very first actual like CD that I ever bought was Shania Twain. What was the name of that album?
Come on over. Come on over.
Yeah. So like from that point on, I would have like my little Discman, just headphones in my room listening.
Okay.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really have music just playing in the house. There's usually a TV on.
Did you? So at that point in time, did you listen to music in your room?
Yeah. Yeah.
Headphones?
Usually headphones. I'm like a private person.
Why did we do that? Because I did it too.
At home now, even I'm like, if my roommate's home, I'm not going to practice because I don't want to be heard unless it's intentional. Like,
I don't know if it was so much.
This song's not ready.
That's right.
I don't know if it was so much for me, if it was so much for anybody to hear you, or definitely was when I first started singing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, they'd ask me to sing something. Like I'd do a George Jones impression way back.
Yeah.
And I would go all the way into the back of the house and sing so loud where they could hear me out in front of the house because I didn't want anybody seeing me. Hey folks, if you're looking for a cool, eclectic place with an outside patio, plenty of UT sports games, cold beer, and live music on the weekends, then look no further than one of our homes away from home, Trailhead Beer Market, located at 1317 Island Home Avenue in South Knoxville, Tennessee. Trailhead is South Knoxville's first beer market, situated on the banks of the Tennessee River and in the backyard of the Urban Wilderness and Iams Nature Center. You can find more info on Facebook and Instagram about specials, live acts, and the goings-on, and be sure to tell them McGill and Jamie sent you, and have one more for the good guys.
That was one of the first Mike McGill stories I ever heard was about you doing that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
You still got that George Jones?
Yeah.
I can still do one. I need to work on it a little bit more, but yeah, I could pull out a Jones.
Pull out a Jones.
I could Jones it up.
Now that's a phrase, right?
I could Jones it up. Hey, if the Hulk can Hulk up, I can Jones it up. I can pull it out.
I mean, maybe my parents would correct me, but I don't remember like ever playing music loudly.
I don't either.
Even as a kid.
I don't either. I'd always go outside or something.
Yeah, like this is my
or,
thing.
Well, it's got a lot to do with the era we grew up in too.
I think maybe that's it.
Because
it wasn't that I thought maybe I'd get in trouble, but maybe I just had more respect for.
Like my mom and my dad both grew up with music in the house because TV wasn't as predominant thing, you know.
I heard a thing today that amazed me when I got to thinking about it. So you're probably too young for this, but
we'll see.
So Dallas, there was the show Dallas. It was I can't even remember what it was. It came on at night once a week.
I've heard of it, but
yeah, it came on at 9:00 on Friday nights.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, there you go.
Pretty sure
it was It was a PM. Pretty much a PM soap opera.
Okay.
Yes.
But it was a weekly thing.
The soap opera.
Yeah. The. And they had a cliffhanger at one of the end of the seasons. And one of the characters' name, who was Larry Hagman, that played, he was Genie's master in I Dream of Jeannie.
Okay.
But he was this real shitheel character in this Dallas named J.R.
J.R. Ewing.
J.R. Ewing. And he was just a prick. Just a real asshole.
I wish I could remember anyone's name as well as you guys are remembering these characters' names.
So they had this cliffhanger, and he got shot. And it was the last one of the season. And this was when TV series ran 22, 23, 24 shows in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Not the 8, 10, 12 like with the streaming stuff.
Yeah.
But I heard today that 84 million people were tuned in watching
Who Shot JR.
Who Shot JR.
Absolutely. It was the
the next season, you mean? Like to see, okay.
Like there was 84, if there were 87 million TVs in the fucking world, there were 84 million of them turned on.
God.
I think it was the second most watched non-sporting event in television history.
Wow.
The last episode of MASH is still number one.
Really?
But I remember I was 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And it was everywhere. Who Shot JR? Everywhere.
Oh, there were t-shirts.
Everywhere.
Just t-shirts. It was just like John Anderson when he had the song Swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was as big as like Achy Breaky Heart.
Oh, man. It was in every skate rink.
There were
skating rink in the world.
Plates, swinging, all that stuff. And I can pull out some John Anderson.
Oh, that's his.
I got that shit. That's in it. I can hit that one a long ways.
I really want to book you now and just like be like, okay, part of your set will be impressions.
Hey,
I need
Merle Haggard. That's what Merle Haggard did in the beginning.
Yeah.
Was impressions.
Yeah,
really?
He did a lot of impressions. There's some stuff of him doing
Marty Robbins better than Marty Robbins.
Yeah.
In front of him.
It's
unbelievable. Yeah. Have you seen that with Marty and him? That's one of the great.
And Buck, he did Buck.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, I really want this to happen. We'll talk.
Yeah. But I was thinking about that, and it was just like, and I heard these guys talking about it, and I was just like, well, the reason there was 84 minutes, there wasn't many choices
to do.
Three channels.
What's she gonna do? Sit around and watch apples grow? There wasn't there was only 3 channels. I don't know why I got into all that, but I had something going with that.
We were just talking about music, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, all right. But no, I never did. I probably about 14, maybe. I started kind of listening, started buying some albums and stuff, listening to stuff in the room. But the big thing was to make tapes from the radio.
Oh,
yeah.
So you didn't have to buy them.
I did used to do that. Yeah.
Because we were just poor white trash.
Yeah. Tape over the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tape over the previous week.
Yeah. The and Casey.
Exactly.
Top 40, baby.
Yeah, top 40.
Every week.
Did you ever hear that blurb, that thing from him, that outtake where he was like, every fucking week I gotta follow a kid dying or a goddamn dog dying, you know? Yeah, it was a cut. You know, it was supposed to not be a hot mic, but their radio guy got it. And
that's
you know,
amazing.
when he'd come on and he would do the, you know,
Yeah.
and the child, blah, 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 you know. It was like, every fucking week I gotta follow a dead kid or a dog dying. What the hell? I need a new producer on this shit show, you know.
You know, he was the
pretty
voice
great.
of Shaggy on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I did
Really?
know that. Yeah.
Huh.
You'll never
That's
watch
news to me.
Scooby-Doo the same now. Casey Kasem.
Wow.
Yeah. So you got all the Albright Grove. Have you got any gigs coming up? Or
Gigs
anything you want to plug,
coming
promote? I don't know when any of this is going to come out. Just so you know, we just decided we wanted to do it for a long time, and I talked about it for years. Jamie kept saying, yeah, it's be a good idea. We'll do it. And we didn't. We'll do it. We didn't. And then finally we were just like, you know what? We just need to record it.
Yeah.
And we'll use what we use. It'll kind of give us an opportunity to figure out how it's going to go,
Mm-hmm.
what it's supposed to be in the broad picture. So Albright Grove every Friday night.
Every Friday night.
And the first Sunday and the third Sunday for the Old Time Jams.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Old Time Jam, is that just, it's welcome?
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome?
Everyone's welcome.
Right.
Yep. We've got all levels.
Harmonica players?
Sure.
Spoon players?
Of course.
Really? I got to teach you a few things.
I mean, I think we had a harmonica player one time.
One time. Did you notice that?
Yeah, we just kind of didn't look him in the eye. He didn't come back. I'm kidding. No, we're an easy group, just open to whatever, depending on who's there. We'll play what people know, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a really nice little space for it.
Is there anything exciting going on that you're excited about? Whether in your world or just something that's coming up or you're looking forward to?
I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff.
You heard it here first.
Looking forward to, whatever,
I love everything. I really like driving.
Yeah, love it. There's the most traffic I've seen out on
I want to ride home with you. Now that you say that.
No, you do not. You would be like,
not
who
in some
are
kind
you?
of weirdo way, but just to hear you, because I would give anything to
You'd be
watch
like,
you
I
just
thought
go
I knew you, and I
berserk
don't know you at all.
behind the wheel. You miserable. I have to teach you so many words.
Man. Yeah, it would probably be too startling. I'd hate to put you through that.
I can handle it.
By the time this comes out, probably the thing I'll be looking forward to is Mike McGill's Christmas Spectacular.
I hope it goes
and
up
maybe I'll
before
actually
then.
have a voice and be able to sing in it this year.
I was so bummed.
I was super bummed.
Yeah, and we're gonna do. Nate and I have talked about it, and Jamie and I have talked about it some. We're gonna really go back and dust off some of the older stuff,
Okay.
and then get some newer stuff out there this year.
Cool.
We kind of had to reach for the low hanging fruit there these last 2 years with not knowing.
Yeah.
We had it one week, we didn't have it. We're going to, no, you're not.
Yeah.
So
it's stressful.
But the
you're like, how much time do we want to put into this when it's so just like
that's a
unpredictable
big thing. But luckily, with everybody that's involved and that has helped make it such a big success for so long that it's really coming off a little easier and easier each time. I think we've learned a lot, and I think doing the 5 guest thing versus the 10 guest thing is a big.
Yeah.
I made a big deal with rehearsals.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Big
bet.
difference.
Yeah.
Well, and with it being at Barley's, it was such a free for all, so there wasn't.
Yeah, I think in that setting it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking at some even more bigger sponsorship this year. Got some things out there working as we speak. RB Morris, Mick Harrison, both have already confirmed they're going to be there.
Awesome.
I need some female singers. I need some new ones.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody, I know you said last year you were talking about Kelsey Walker.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I've got some others too. I can send you some numbers.
So yeah, I'm beginning on that. But can you remember how long you've actually been involved as far as an official capacity with that? I mean, it's really, I mean, I'm thinking.
How long have you been doing it?
Last year was 10 years.
I feel like maybe I just wasn't in the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Been part of the others in some capacity.
I think the 4th year was when we turned it into a fundraising event for the kids, and I think that's
16.
Yeah,
that was the first year I was
when
there.
It stepped up. I think that's when you all came on as. But well,
it's a great event, Mike.
It is a great event.
Glad you make that happen.
And I think we're going to sell it out this year. You know, when we left Barley's, it was 400 paid, and then we had it that next year for the Bijou and COVID, and then the second year through COVID after all the Delta stuff, we came out for that and we had 250. So it only took us that to get back up to that 400 mark. So I'm thinking with a little bit more sponsorship, I think it's like 750.
Is it
7 something?
Yeah.
So we're halfway there.
Nice.
So if we could do that, I mean, how great would it be to do a 2-night or a 2 performance?
Yeah.
Or a naughty and a nice show.
Oh,
how fun would that be?
Have a matinee show that's
the nice
clean.
and then do the naughty show at night and just make it blue as hell. I mean, ridiculous. Y'all got a song for that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that was great.
I don't know how we'd feel about singing that on the Bijou stage.
Oh,
it felt fine at Barley's. We're like,
Ghost would love it.
That's true.
Yeah, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care.
Sometimes I look back, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
I know, you guys surprised a little bit. Do you remember that one?
No. What was the song?
That's all Shauna. What was it?
All I want for Christmas is a
vibrator and world peace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Yes.
Haven't you been like singing that every year at Christmas?
Absolutely.
It's a go-to.
Got it charted out at home.
Instant classic. It's a
it's a one song to remember.
Shauna was in the right kind of mood for that.
Oh, she's ridiculous.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. Well, hey, you're awesome. I love you very, very much. I'm so glad you were here. Would you like to do it again sometime? Now we got everybody knows and all that stuff, and we can just.
Honored to have been asked.
I think the next, I think that's kind of the deal is like, we've known each other a long, long time, but I knew maybe like
but we don't talk.
No, I mean, I don't like you. If that's what we're getting at.
I don't really want to know anything about you.
No, I don't care. Reba.
Use you for your singing voice and your connections.
Yeah. Oh, you cuss? That was the most exciting thing of the day for me.
I just need you to heckle the hecklers.
But no, I don't know. You know, we're in moments. I knew a smidgen of stuff about you. But and I think that's one of the things that through the pandemic and then all this coming about. And I mean, I know we're well away from that. So don't piss off. Don't judge me about none of that. But just when you thought about someone, you called.
Yeah.
You know? And we did that several times, and this is now finally being really comfortable. This whole place was built for quarantine.
Yeah,
because I had a terminal dad and a mother, both with failing health, and so now it gets to be a place to just have a conversation and get to see people again. You know? So
cozy.
Yeah,
You've done some good work in here.
Thank you. You can continue bragging on me. But
I mean, clearly professionally done.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll say this to say all of that. Thanks for sticking around with us. Love you very much. Appreciate you, your friendship, your musical abilities, all your talent. And that's it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Here's one more for the good guys. You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find.